That's right, I had quite the journey on Wednesday. I met up with Andrea Star Reese. She's a photojournalist who wrote a photo book called The Urban Cave. Now, it details unsheltered men and women living under Manhattan in old train tunnels that were used by Amtrak and actually are being used right now sparingly. Some call them mole people, but they're not really keen on that moniker. Before we began this journey, I spoke to Andrea about her project that took 7 years.
Do the daily aspects of life. How do you stay clean? How do you stay safe? How do you make money? That's what I wanted to know.
First, we met Brooklyn. She was a bit camera shy at first, and I met her on a bench she had been living at for 8 years. Now, she said one day a cat came up to her, and she followed the cat down into the tunnels.
I followed them down in the park, and then I found out where they lived, and then they gave us both a home.
She has since found housing, but now she goes back and she feeds them every single day. We left Brooklyn and took a walk to go meet Chuck. Chuck had lived down in the tunnels for 12 years. We took a long walk through the woods, down into the tunnels, along the train tracks before we reached where he lived.
I had a 10-foot ladder that I used to climb up, and when I get up in my hole, I put it up with me so nobody can come up behind me.
The space was actually oddly beautiful. There was a lot of graffiti on the walls. There was weird things that looked like skylights that let in this light, and it was bright. From there, we separated from Chuck, and we took a walk down to what is known as the Bat Cave. We met a man named Daddy-O who had been living there for years. It looks like a parking lot, and it's covered on 3 sides. It's about 60 feet tall, and he and about 30 other people had been living there for over a decade until authorities made them leave. So he actually set up shop right outside the no trespassing signs.
So these guys used to live in here, which is the Bat Cave. Now Verizon is using it as a parking lot.
I asked Daddy-O how long he'd been outside for.
84, 86.
Jeez. I was born in 84, man. That's terrible. Yeah.
Get out of here!
You strike me as that this moved you. Like, this story impacted you.
Yeah,
it struck a chord. What impacted you the most?
If I did this in the summer, it probably would have been a little bit different. I would have been comfortable. I would have been fine.
Yeah.
I was out there for 4 hours, 5 hours. I had layers on, way more than these people did. And they're out there all day, every single day. I spoke to all of them, and I asked them, what would you tell the world if you can tell them something?
To the younger generation, stay in school.